when one drink just is not enough. Hey everyone, it's Laynie and welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, I am so excited that you are here, and if you are returning to my channel, thank you so very much. If you are new here, then you are not aware of the fact that I start every video with a question to help me get to know you and you to get to know me. So today's question of the day is, so when you're watching this, I will be 29. My birthday will have just passed and I will officially be 29 years old. So that is going to be the basis of today's question. Tell me what you think your best year of life will be, like in your sense of age, if that makes sense. I don't know why. I really do not. I don't know why. But I have always, if you talk to any of my friends who have known me since like early high school, for most of my life, I have always felt like 30 is going to be my best year. I am turning 29 and I'm a little bit like, oh my gosh, how has time gone so fast? How are you 29 already? But I'm kind of excited because I think in another year, I don't know why, I just feel like 30 will be my best year. Maybe it's because it's my golden birthday. Maybe because of that saying 30, flirty, and thriving. Like, I've just heard, like, as a woman, you just really become okay and confident and happy with who you are at 30. So I don't know, I feel like 30 will be my year. So let me know what's gonna be your year. I'm really looking forward I'm really looking forward to this video because I've mentioned the idea of it and several people were like, please help me out and make this video. So today's video is going to be my little tips and product recommendations for textured skin. Every time I get a comment on my channel, someone's like, oh, you have like such beautiful skin. Oh, I'm like, thank you so much, but I promise you, if you take away the studio lighting and the makeup and you get all up in here, you zoom in, you will see that I don't have perfect skin. So my skin history is that I have oily skin currently. Large pores are definitely a big concern of mine, and texture from acne scarring. I will say the older I've gotten, obviously it gets a little bit better and a little bit better, so now it's not as in your face, but I do have textured skin. I feel like it's just watching people on YouTube, it's so misleading. I think cameras make everything look better, lighting makes things look better, products you wear makes things look better. I just want to make sure everybody's aware that no one is as perfect as they look on YouTube. Or Instagram. Definitely Instagram. I did my best to really sit down and think this out, plan this out. I took notes because I want to cover this for both those with normal skin, oily skin, dry skin. Now, like I said, I don't have dry skin, so I cannot speak from personal experience. So I really tried to sit down and think about products for everybody. So if you want to see my little tips and product recommendations, then just keep watching. Obviously, okay, maybe I shouldn't say obviously, because I'm reeling that back in. Because not everybody watches as much YouTube as I do. Anything complexion related starts with skincare. So the first product is, in my opinion, a miracle product. I am not currently using it and I can tell that I am not using it. That is a product by The Ordinary. It is their Grand Active Retinoid 2%. Oh my gosh, you guys. First of all, The Ordinary makes amazing products at such an affordable price. You cannot beat the quality and price they offer. It's unbelievable. It is a solution for dullness, texture, fine lines. This really helps your skin rebuild itself and really rejuvenate, and I noticed such a difference with this product when I was using it. Oh my goodness. And I will say, if you have extremely sensitive skin, this might be too much for you, but I do feel like The Ordinary does a good job of making this gentle enough. I did not have any problems with it. Another really good product, I feel like this one is a little more on the gentle side. It is the Pixi Glow Tonic. I loved this. Definitely one that takes a little bit longer to see the results, but my skin looked so nice and really rejuvenated when using this product, but it does take a little while to see those results. It helps exfoliate and purify the skin, and it helps accelerate your cell growth so your skin looks better, more even, and I definitely think it's a great product. I don't know if you are supposed to use a retinol product and oh god, I can't say that word, and a glycolic acid at the same time. I personally don't think I would. I do think that would be too harsh for my skin. I'm doing one or the other. I'm going back to The Ordinary because I truly saw amazing results. But both of those are going to help with texture, and I think they're great products. If large pores are a part of your texture that you don't like on your skin when you have foundation on, I do think toners can really help with bringing in the size of the pores. It's not going to get rid of our pores. Nothing will, but a good toner can definitely help with that. The Pixie is a great one that I mentioned, and then another option for you is the Thayer's Rose Toner. I love this. I think it's a great toner. It has really good ingredients, so definitely if pores are a part of that problem, then add a toner into your daily routine, and I think you will see a reduction in your pore size. Then the next step is just having really hydrated skin. I think that makes everything look better. Even if you have oily skin, you should be using a good hydrator. If you don't hydrate your skin will overproduce oils to make up for the difference. So the first one is one I really love that is expensive, the Tatcha Water Cream. It is luxurious, it feels so nice, it sinks in quickly, it's not heavy on the skin. I love this product. But I also really love the Neutrogena Water Gel. They also have a water cream. I love both. I think anything from the Hydro Boost line is really nice and pretty darn affordable, and you can usually get like buy one get one half off. You can look for those really good deals at the drugstore at Ulta. Also, oils are really good. Rosehip oil can really transform your skin. It makes it look healthier, it helps repair the skin. It's definitely a great oil, and I have used the Ordinary Rosehip oil and I loved it, and I'm definitely going to be repurchasing. Also, exfoliating is really important. You don't want to go overboard with an exfoliator, as you can do more harm to the skin. But definitely exfoliation is something you want to have in your arsenal of skincare. Currently I'm using the Bare Minerals Mix-In Exfoliator. I love it, and I love that I can just mix it in with whatever cleanser I'm currently using. It makes it really easy. There's other great options out there. I really like the Tatcha Rice Polish Powder. I did really love it. It gave a really beautiful, gentle exfoliation, and my skin looked very glowy and healthy afterwards. There are other tools out there that you can use if you don't want to use like a liquid product or a cleanser or a foam or a powder. You can use the Foreo, the Clarisonic. So there are definitely other ways to exfoliate, but if you have texture, exfoliation really needs to be a part of your routine, and it's going to be trial and error to find out what works for you. Some people can do it more, some can only do it once a week. You have to just figure out what works best for you. The next step in the routine for textured skin is going to be a good primer, and there are so many good primers out there, you guys. If you have dry skin, you're going to want to use a primer that both hydrates and smooths the skin. I can honestly say from experience that this winter I learned that the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer is heaven sent. It is so smoothing on the skin. The only problem is it does leave a little bit of a white cast, so that is something to be aware of. I've heard really good things about the NYX Angel Veil. I've heard it's a dupe for the Hourglass. I haven't used it, but I have heard really good things if you're on a budget. Now, if you have normal skin, again, another pricey recommendation. I'm so sorry. I really love the Tatcha Silk Canvas. It is hydrating, but it's not super hydrating. It's not overly hydrating. It just gives a nice refreshed feeling to the skin, and it does a beautiful job of smoothing the skin. I have heard that e.l.f. has a good dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I haven't personally used it, but there seems to be a whole bunch of ruckus about it here on YouTube. So if you've tried either of these dupes and they work really well for you, please let everybody know in the comments below. And then for oily skin, we are going to want to both smooth and mattify. I really love the Too Faced Peachy Mattifying Primer. Oh my gosh, I think it does a great job of smoothing. It does a really good job of controlling my oils. I think it is a great primer. I also have just started diving into the ColourPop Matte and Blur. I think it's also very good. Definitely the Too Faced is a little bit better, but on a budget, ColourPop is definitely a good option. I really feel like priming, if you have texture, is such a key part to having a smooth complexion. Okay guys, now here's the fun part. Foundation. This is definitely a key to the texture, fixing that texture, making us look like the best versions of ourselves. And this is where I can give my recommendations, but you guys, it is just a trial and error. I feel like foundations are one of those things that are so unique to everyone. You can have a foundation that you are obsessed with, and then the next person is like, oh no, I hated how it looked on me. So foundations, this is a tough one to truly be like, these are the ones that are gonna fix your texture problems. but I will try my best to give you some recommendations. If you have dry skin, I think this is a beautiful foundation. Here's the thing. When you have texture, too dewy emphasizes all texture. All texture. I personally, when I have worn this, I don't think it emphasizes texture. I think it lays very pretty on the skin. It wears well on the skin. But if you have extreme texture issues, this one might be a little bit too radiant. But I just feel like this is the most beautiful foundation for dry skin. It is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. I think it is a stunning foundation. Their color range could be better, that is for sure. But I think it is such a pretty, skin-like, glowy foundation, but it's like not so glowy that it's emphasizing everything. I personally think it is a beautiful foundation, and if you have very, very dry skin, I think it will work out great for you. If you have normal skin, you can really wear all different types of foundation. You can lean the more moisturizing route, you can lean the more satin, the little bit more matte. You have so much room to play. I'm jealous. Definitely jealous. I think a very underrated foundation that I don't hear anybody talking about is the Sephora Stick Foundation. I think it wears beautifully on the skin. It blurs over imperfections really nicely. I'm wearing it today. I'm quite a fan of it. I do think this is one that also oily skin can get away with. I wear it. But if you had normal skin, I just feel like this would lay so nicely on your skin. It's almost got a creamy, semi-velvety kind of finish. I think it just lays over top everything so nicely. The coverage is there and the consistency is so nice. So definitely think that would be a great one for normal skin. Now, if you have oily skin and you are very worried about smoothing and mattifying, then one of the best foundations I have used is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. Is truly one of the best for oily skin I have used. It lays beautifully on the skin, it doesn't emphasize texture, and it's not overly matte. There are some products for us oily skin people that make us look so matte, we look crusty. In recent history, I tried out the Morphe and it looked dreadful. It was too matte. I want my makeup to stay together on my face, but I don't want to look like I'm at the morgue. There is that fine line between pretty matte and horrible matte, and I just think the Too Faced Peach Comfort Matte Foundation is it. And they did enhance the shade range, which I think is so needed because it is a beautiful foundation. That's probably my #1 pick for oily, textured skin. Also, recently for foundations, I have found something that works really well. When I buff foundations in with a brush first, I get the most coverage. I don't have to go in with a ton of product. I'm not wasting a lot of product. I can buff it out, and then I go over top with whatever beauty sponge I'm using at the time. I got these in the discount pile at Ulta, so I grabbed them. They were like $3, and then I pat it out. And I feel like the sponge just takes the smoothness of foundation to the next level. When you pat it out, you get rid of any brush strokes. You can actually take your time with the sponge and really push it into the skin so it's not laying on top of the skin and it really melts into the skin. Concealers. I feel like concealers don't matter as much when it comes to textured skin. Like, there's not like a concealer that I'm like, oh my gosh, I've had terrible results with that one, since concealer is usually just going under the eyes, a little spot correcting, a little highlighting. Some concealers that I just have really come to love are the Tarte Shape Tape, the Jouer Essential Concealer, the new e.l.f. Concealer. I personally think is great for oily skin. If you have dry skin, I don't think you would like it. The Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer is really beautiful, especially for those with dry skin. But those are just a few concealers that I have dived into. And then we have our setting powders. I think setting powder can be so helpful with texture. Now, if you have really, really dry skin, just use a very light hand. The Laura Mercier, to me, is very pore refining. It really fills in areas where we have that texture, but it is ultra drying. So if you have dry skin, I don't think I would recommend that one unless you use literally the lightest hand ever. I think for dry skin, a better option is the ColourPop setting powder. To me, it does not come across nearly as drying on the skin, but it does a nice job of smoothing. It is what I'm wearing today, and I'm pretty happy with my pores and my texture. If you have extreme amount of texture, steer clear of powders that are going to have an illuminating effect. I know Laura Mercier makes an illuminating one. Hourglass came out with an illuminating powder. Since we are putting powder where we usually have the worst amount of texture, our pores here, the cheeks, I feel like a lot of us, when we have any type of scarring from acne back in the day, or we're dealing with it now, it's usually throughout this area. And usually powders, even if you're just setting your concealer, it's going to transfer down onto the cheeks a bit. So just steer clear of satiny, shimmery, glittery, highlightery, I know that's not a word, powders. Next up we have blush and bronzer. That's going to really help make our complexion just look 3D, alive, healthy, pretty. Some of these steps are going to be do as I say, not as I do, because I can't lie to you guys, I love makeup. I often wear products I know I really can't get away with my skin type, but you know what? Sometimes that's okay. If I'm okay leaving the house with it and I'm happy with how I look, that's all that really matters. But if you are truly worried about texture, a glow is not your friend when it comes to blush and bronzer, because it is hitting all of those areas where we have texture. The bronzer I am currently obsessed with is the Maybelline City Bronzer in 100, because I'm at my fairest right now. I still have that winter skin, and they do have multiple shade options available. And it is a beautiful powder matte bronzer. It wears so well on the skin, and it gives you just enough bronzer, but it doesn't go overboard. I think it is stunning. It is my absolute favorite matte bronzer right now. Let's see, what is a good matte blush? Makeup Geek and Tarte both make beautiful matte blushes. Definitely want that rosiness, that life that blush brings, but if you're really concerned about texture, then definitely stick with the mattes. Now, just because we have texture, we're trying to play it safe, we're trying to minimize the look of our texture, doesn't mean we can't have any glow. That is the good thing about highlighter. Highlighter, you can really control the areas you are hitting on your face, and you can skip those areas where you feel like you don't want to emphasize your texture. And also, the type of highlighter you pick can really make a difference on whether or not you emphasize the texture. A soft, smooth, creamy highlighter is what's going to wear the best on your skin and not emphasize as much texture. Today I'm wearing the ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in Flexitarian. And if you've never touched a Super Shock, they're almost like a moussey, powdery consistency. If you haven't used one, it's so hard to describe, but it lays on the skin really nicely, and I don't feel like it overemphasizes texture. And for me, since I feel like my texture is more through here and here, I like to bring my highlighter through here, and I don't bring it too far forward, because this area right here is where my pores get extreme. So I stick to right here, a little on the nose. I don't hit my chin or my forehead because of my oil. If you have extreme texture, almost more of a glow powder, a satin powder instead of a pure highlighter is going to give you more of the finish you are looking for. For example, this is their Wet n Wild Mega Glow Bar in Holly, what's it called? Holly Gold Head. This one, to me, it's more of that lit from within than a true highlighter. So something like this is going to wear really pretty and not be so glowy. It really picks up on texture on the cheek. This might help. So if I swatch the Wet n Wild and then the ColourPop next to each other, do you see how this one is much more dull, just a little bit more lit from within, and then this one is more in your face. See, this is like lit within, I've got a nice subtle glow, and then this one's like bam, bam, bam. So if you look for those more satin formulas for extreme texture, I think you'll be a lot happier with the finish. Another ColourPop highlighter I love is their powder formula. A powder that is more almost a foiled effect is going to wear nicer on the skin and not pick up as much texture, as long as you're careful about your placement. So that is the highlighter in here, Kitty Kitty. Again, a little bit more subtle than the Super Shock. The thing I love about makeup is there's ways to tweak, there's ways to play, there's ways to figure out what works for you and those problem areas that you aren't happy with. You can take away areas you're not super happy with, you can play up, really bring forward areas you are happy with. So I will never give up my highlighter. I'm just a little bit more careful, a little more cautious about which one I use and placement. The last step is really up to you. You might be someone who really loves a setting spray and maybe you're not. If you don't like setting spray and you are happy with how your makeup looks, then skip it. It's not like a necessity. Me personally, I just love adding a setting spray into my makeup routine. I like the finish I get. I like ones that help my makeup stay on, kind of melt it into the skin. So this is really personal preference. The main thing with setting sprays is to, again, steer clear of anything that's going to be too glowy, too illuminating, because that is going to show texture. I really think for texture, the absolute best setting spray is an oldie but a goodie. You guys, as much as I have kind of fallen out of love with Urban Decay products, I will never fall out of love with their setting sprays. They are so good, and I love that they have options for everybody. If you have oily skin, the Urban Decay De-Slick works amazing, and it truly helps control oil, and it truly helps your makeup stay on longer. They also have just their regular Urban Decay All-Nighter. That is a good one for normal or dry skin. Urban Decay All-Nighter, all the way, the best setting spray ever. Besides, maybe one we could get away with also is the Morphe Continuous Spray. I forgot about that one. That one does not seem to add shine or illuminate. It just melts everything into the skin, and the spritzer is amazing. Do I do these steps every single day? No, because there are days where I'm like, you know what, this is the skin I'm in, and I'm going to wear what I want. But obviously there are times where I'm like, maybe it's a special occasion. There's going to be a lot of pictures. Like, for example, my wedding day. I didn't want my texture to be emphasized. So this is just little tips and tricks to help you to feel the best ever and to feel confident when picking out products and how to use them if you have texture. It is easy to feel like you're alone when you don't have perfect skin, when you're watching YouTube and looking at Instagram, because let me tell you, you're not alone. Before I close out this video, I have to do my shout out of the day. So today's shout out of the day is Claudia Lovesby. She commented on one of my older videos. It was my Sol de Janeiro review video. She said, I love the body mist. It lasts a long time on me and I cannot smell the alcohol. Oh my gosh, Claudia, thank you so much for sharing your experience with me. I love hearing from you guys and I love your input. I definitely would consider giving that perfume another go because I love the scent of the Boom Boom Cream. Oh, that scent is literally heavenly, the best scent ever. So I definitely give it another try. Maybe you would wear differently on me this time around. So thank you for sharing. I am so glad that you were here and a part of the Lash family. If you haven't subscribed, just I forgot what side it's on. It's on this side. Just click the subscribe button. It's free, it's easy, it's painless, and why not do it? Because you want to be a part of the Lash fam. You want to join the family. Trust me, we are amazing here. And I can say that because I have the best subscribers ever. And as always, please try to stay positive because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.